Yes, it is. That's exactly what you're saying is exactly it. What I'm saying is that manhood is about power, and power is living inside of you. We can break down power in different components, but if you're alive, there's clearly a power that's holding you alive. And now you don't have to believe in soul or any of those things. Clearly, if the tree is alive, there's a power in it, and then when that power goes away, nature power, it dies. So clearly, if you're alive, there's a power inside of you. There's more to it than this, for sure. Just let's keep it at the first degree. And everyone has access to that. It doesn't depend on your muscles or your diplomas or your cars or the quality chicks you bang and how many you bang and none of that fucking shit. And it's accessible to everybody, whether you're like 4'1" or 7'3", whether you're fat, skinny, bald, ugly, pretty, handsome, rich, poor. You have access to a power and a knowledge. So, yeah, there's a model of masculinity that is presented that is accessible to only a very select few. And on top of that, it doesn't even mean they're happy. They will never tell you the truth. And don't forget, they want to sell you something, so they will always look like they're Drake at the top of the world. This is not about Drake, right? It's just a nice analogy. They're trying to sell you something. And this is for a few, so you presume they've reached that. You don't know. But they look like they've reached it, and no matter how hard most people try, you'll never get to that. And you don't even know if he's happy. But one thing is for sure, it's at the surface of reality. And what I'm trying to say is like, well, if that's defining manhood, well, you're in hell. You're literally in hell. Because you can never get there. Even the one who gets there, there's somebody who gets there more than him. Which means he's going to lose his girlfriend to that dude. You're in hell. Don't you get it? That's hell. Well, no, that's the animal kingdom. I'm like, no. That's hell. Okay? That means there's no peace possible. That's what it implies. There must be something else that is accessible for the human being. This is why we started all of this speaking about human being, not about man, not about woman. It means what it is to be a human being. And I'm telling you, a human being may clearly definitely has a mammal aspect, but we are not animals in the way that a dog is an animal. We have an aspect that is doggy, yes, but clearly we are not at the same level. No disrespect to the doggy or the lion or the giraffe. So when you see human beings whose life philosophy is so materialistic, they're comparing themselves to animal, which means, well, what? You're doomed to suffer. That's what it says, but either you're not smart enough to see that or you think you're going to beat the game. Let's pretend that you do. You're the only one. You and your 5 fellows. And then guess what happens? Ego grows. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And I'm going to tell you what nature is going to do to you. She's going to beat you down. It's just a question of time to teach you a lesson, to show you who's in charge. She is. It's just a question of time. All you have to do is study history. All you have to do is look around you and see what happens. So you've reached the so-called top of whatever nonsense you've reached, and who beats you? Nature does, with one little blow, and there you break apart. Then what? If that's what life is about, and if that's what manhood is about, well, first, the game is rigged. It's a con. Everybody's going to lose. So the so-called alpha male who's proud of himself and full of himself says, oh yeah, well, that's the survival of the fittest. And I'm like, great, dude, great. Like, I get you, okay? But in my humble opinion, we're missing out on something. We can clearly see the result. What is the result? War, hate, animosity, resentment. Men and women don't speak, don't want to speak, hate each other. And the world in arrest. Let's not get into that one. This is the result of that mindset. So clearly that mindset is primitive. It doesn't work. It's false. Because people haven't achieved what they want. Peace, harmony, connection, love. I'm not talking about hippie love. I'm talking about love. Not attachment, love. Not a fake love because you're an idealistic person who believes that humanity should be united. No, I'm talking love. Well, where is it? Okay, so clearly there's an issue with the mindset. So on the feminists will say it's the patriarchy. I'm like, no, it's not the patriarchy, dude. It's a mindset, and that mindset is in feminism, and it's in the new matriarchy that is rising. It's a confused, materialistic mindset that is scared of the depth of life, that doesn't want to study the underworld, that doesn't want to study the darkness. Go figure. And the darkness is the female. It is the goddess. Light is the masculine energy. Darkness is the feminine energy. Go figure. And everybody's scared shitless of the darkness. Shitless. Women first, men second. Everybody's scared. Let's do everything to avoid going into the darkness because we can't see in the darkness. Yeah, but there's an eye that sees in the darkness, in case you were wondering. But let's not go further in that rabbit hole. Yeah, so this is my opinion. You cannot build a healthy society, nation, community if men are trying to fuck each other over and women are trying to control and manipulate men to fuck them over. This is what we see. So how are you going to have a peaceful community? It's impossible. So that's it, we're doomed. That's what you're telling me. That means there's going to be disease. Sooner or later there will be war. Sooner or later there will be a form of famine. And some people will eat, most won't. That's what that mindset does. So if you cannot see this, well, you're clearly not on the wrong. You're not on the right channel. Go about your business. God bless you, and see you later. If you understand what I'm trying to say, the solution isn't. I don't believe the solution is adopting an ideology, whether it's Christian or Krishna. Like, I don't buy into taking something from the outside, understanding it mentally, and trying to force feed it to myself and apply it. No, it has to be awakened from inside. If it's not true. That's all I know, and that's all I care for. Peace and harmony cannot be artificially created. People try. It can only last for so long because it's from the mind. Sooner or later, the mind shifts and your so-called peace is gone. There has to be something more profound that is genuine to our nature as human beings, men and women. And this is my personal quest. And I highly recommend that you consider this and decide if this is something that you want to discover for yourself.